Well, good morning. You are looking at a crumpled up piece of paper in the trash can. If you're following this report, I have been trying to warn you that I'm trying to beautify this place. And it's a very inexpensive project. It's $1 for these calendars. It's $1. There's 12 sheets. The most expensive part of this project is the washi tape. So I come in here and I check. And sure enough, actually, one of these were on the ground. So of course I checked the trash. I can hear them. I can hear these bullies. I know exactly who they are. Tearing it down. So one of my neighbors comes out of his apartment. I say, hey, you want to help me take the ones off the wall by my apartment and put these here? So, I mean, I have to get more washi tape. It's like, this washi tape is not working. So I just need more washi tape. But the thing is about bullies, you guys, they really expect you to kill yourself, commit suicide, to give up and quit. That's what they are expecting. And that's what usually happens. People give up, people quit, they stop doing whatever they're doing because of the bullies. So a big part of why I was even doing this was to see who is going to be supportive and who's going to be against this. So when I say this is war, this is what I'm speaking about. My intention is that there is someone on this floor. And if you understand, we actually have 3 corridors. There's someone on this floor who is very depressed this season. This is the kind of thing I'm thinking about. This is to inspire the people who need a little push and a little bit of encouragement. This is a laundry room, okay? Everybody has to do laundry. So everybody is going to be seeing this who lives on this floor. Unless you purposely come from a different floor, we have 8 floors, and try to come down and tear this down. Okay, eventually that's going to be found out. People are going to be paying attention. I know this might sound very simple and plain, but this is what I'm trying to say, is that when people who have been pushed down too much and are sick of the oppression, you know, they wait to see if anyone will stand up in the gap. And once they realize that the person who is making such a fuss with the beautification project isn't giving up and is pushing back, you know, that might give them a little bit of hope. This is my intention, okay? So, again, this beautification project, there are a couple places in this building, and I will do more of a tour later. This is just me discovering what I'm discovering and talking about it. So, again, the most expensive part of this project is the washi tape. You know, if somebody wanted to help me do a crowdfunding for this project, I mean, it's really this basic and it's really this simple. And the hardest part of this job is time, really. There are 2 different types of calendars that I have on this wall. They're from the Dollar Tree, okay? This isn't expensive, and I think somebody's knocking on my door. How about we find out? No, thank goodness. All right, so This is how we do it. It's real simple, okay? We're gonna push back the bullies. If you don't understand what else I'm talking about that this building has been here since 1970. I was born in 1970. I come from poverty like most people, okay? The fact that I'm in this building, you can be making $40,000 a year or less and live here. So this is the place where people can get on their feet. It's not so disgusting. It's not so atrocious like the projects like some people might have heard of horror stories. It's not even that atrocious. It's kind of like 240 buildings, or I mean apartments in this building is like, I don't know, a 5 square radius of blocks of a community where people live. You know what I mean? It's the balance of it is, you know, people die, people do drugs, people do bad things, as well as good things. And anyway, it's everywhere you go. It's just that we have it in a confined space going vertically, 8 floors. And another thing that I'm just gonna throw out there real quick. There's an emergency community meeting. All right, if there was a way that I could ask the community, you know, why aren't they coming to the tenant meetings? If there was a way I could do a poll, then I'm gonna try, okay? Because I've already told the tenant president that that basically that I'm aware, okay? Basically that I'm aware of this opposition, that people have expressed things to me that they're not interested in coming to these meetings because of whatever, you know, they're not even telling me all the reasons because they don't have to tell me all the reasons. The point of it is that it's really obvious, and I'm sorry I'm not showing you my face. I'm just like still waking up and I don't want to show my face today yet. I'm lighting in a candle. And thank you for your patience. People do not want to come to these meetings. And if there's a way that I'm going to be documenting it, because I need to look into this matter. It's just what I need to do. Why? Because it's just what I need to do, all right? It's what I have to do. I have to flip the tables. It's just what I have to do. And it's my calling. So it's like, I actually had a conversation with a lady at my job yesterday, and I barely had to say a word to her. She understood exactly where I was coming from. She understood that, like, when you have a calling from the Lord, it's the Lord who's going to make everything happen. He's totally in control, and he just asks us to be hands and feet and eyes and ears. And so that's the point. The point of it is to recognize anything that you see and tell it to the Lord. Everything that you hear and tell it to the Lord. It's the Lord. It's always the Lord that we go to. Number one, okay? And in the process, the reality is whatever the reality is. And we can't freak out, and we can't like, oh my God, I gotta call 911. It's not always about that. It's about, this is just reality. These are human lives. We have to figure out a way and understand the bigger picture. Bullies. There's a beautiful somebody, this actor. He's got these beautiful piercing blue eyes. I don't remember his name, and I just watched his video on Facebook the other day. And he's making a point, since all this stuff is happening with this, you know, the Weinstein case, or not that it's a case, just that the actresses are coming out, like, just by the loads they're coming out. This is a big deal. We've been waiting for this. If you're watching any of my videos, you know that this is the overall, what this is about. This is about bringing the darkness to the light. And There is room for forgiveness and mercy and grace in some cases, not all cases. It's not going to end well for everyone, including me. That means that if you stand for the cause of Christ, you might not stand at the end of the day. You might be martyred. You might be like Stephen. You might be stoned to death. You cannot determine what is going to happen at the end of the day, and you cannot care. Do you remember anything Charles Stanley even used to say? Someone in his family used to tell him, it's just like, just obey the Lord, and if the Lord tells you to crash your car into the wall, just believe that he's going to take the wall away. You know, like, it's not literally, but that's how far and deep our faith goes. When you look back at Abraham and Isaac, and God just said, look, I want you to take your little son, and I want you to take him up to the altar, and I want you to sacrifice him. And God did a funny joke, and he's like, ah, ha, 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 just kidding. You know, and he, you know, and he's like, no, I wanted to see how far you would go for me, you know. I wanted to see how much you would sacrifice for me. And that's, you know, and Satan's mocking that all day long, you guys. This is Halloween month, you guys. I don't have enough time to sit here and talk to you all about the bigger picture. But if anybody is listening and you understand, this is what it's all about at the end of the day. You have to just trust God. Because, why? Because there's something more about, you have to remember that Paul used to be Saul, okay? Look, it's taken me a long time to get here, okay? It's taken me a long time to get to this point of my life where I can even talk like this. This is amazing, okay? Paul used to be Saul. It's not up to us to decide which of these bullies and these pedophiles are born again into the kingdom and being called. It's not up to us to decide. Just because they're acting out and being bullies, it's not up to us to decide. We have to consider things like Saul turned into Paul. Saul used to persecute Christians and kill them. And no one believed him when he turned around and he was called by the Lord. This is reality. This is where I'm at. This is how extreme, aggressively healing that I'm into from the post-traumatic stress. So this is the other half of it where these bullies don't understand. It's like, it's not going to matter. These little tiny things that they're doing aren't going to matter, and they're not going to stop me. I'm going to stop at nothing. That's what they don't understand. And so there's a lot of bystanders waiting and expecting. They're just expecting me to give up. There's so many more things to say. You guys, the bigger picture even. Like, if you're a foster child, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You were a foster child. Now you're an adult. If you're a foster kid now and you're in the foster care system, you understand. It's like you're waiting for someone to give you a hand, pat you on the back, notice your skills, notice your talents. This is the bigger picture of what I'm trying to give back. I am trying so hard to flip the tables, and that doesn't mean necessarily walking into a place, flipping the table. It also means going 360 from everything that I knew as a child, all the gaps that weren't being filled. This is what I was created for. So I'm learning how to master these things so I can give them back to the people. You guys, if I could find my bag, I have a bag from the Dollar Tree. Okay, because there was a person here in the building on my floor. When I told her the vision and everything that I'm trying to do here, she understood exactly what I said, and she said that she doesn't know how to read and she just wants to get her GED. You guys, if the Lord is willing, then I will help her. I bought some books from the Dollar Tree. It's really basic because anyone can homeschool. I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? If her heart is open and the bullies haven't gotten to her, do you hear what I'm saying? I'm standing by and I'm ready.